Greetings, Evil Genius, and Connor, obviously. Hello. Now, I want to talk to you about something very unusual today. In fact, I want to do something very unusual. Now, that's not something you want to hear from the lips of a 7-foot albino psychopath who's just chased you down an alleyway naked with a machete and a hard-on, is it? Is it? No. It's a strange thing to come out with, isn't it? I'll explain the reference to the albino later. It's not relevant. It's just really fucking funny. But I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to give you a very solid tip today. But first, before I do, I want to warn you. This is not some nibble around the edges little tip that you'll get from most people. It's not something you just slip in there as to give you an extra, couple of percent, or to improve your headlines or your copy or your mindset or anything. This is fundamental. This is fucking hardcore. And I've got, 3,109 connections on LinkedIn, and I bet 3,100 of them would not have the testicles or the female equivalent to do this. Because it's scary. And people don't do scary things. And they'll come out with all kinds of bullshit rationalizations why they shouldn't and can't do it. But that's all they are. They're bullshit rationalizations. Evidence shows quite clearly doing this is the best way to do it. That we know. I mean, I can't claim that it's the best way full stop, because that would imply I have full and complete knowledge of everything, which obviously I don't. So, and that is to throw, it's very simple, but not always easy, it's to throw the most important ingredients of all into your marketing, and that is yourself. This is nothing new, I'm sure you've heard it before. But it's like, it's a bit like jumping out of an aeroplane, or getting pregnant, or having sex. You can't be almost a virgin, or almost jumping out of an aeroplane, or almost pregnant. You either are or you're not. So you either do this or just don't bother. Because if you don't do it wholly and completely, it'll just look stupid, and so will you. But it's throwing yourself into it, your personality. Now, there are some very, very good reasons why this works. So it's not just bullshit, something we just say, and, I don't expect you to take it at face value. I can explain to you, and I will share with you right now, why it's so powerful. The first thing is this. We all know people tend to do business with people they like and trust. That's a given. Trust is the biggest barrier to sales, probably bar none. And liking is a huge part of trust. It doesn't make any logical sense, but we tend to trust people we like. Now, the easiest way to attract people who are going to like you and then trust you is to attract people who are like yourself. Because we tend to like people who are like us. And the easiest way to attract people who are like us is to be yourself. Because, birds of a feather do in fact flock together. So just by putting yourself out there in your marketing, and I mean everything, I will write and record videos and everything from religion, politics, abortion, homosexual rights, gay rights, whatever. I don't give a shit what people think, and as a libertarian, my views are not popular on either side of the aisle, but hey, tough. But I'll put them out there no matter what. The second thing is, it's so simple. Okay? It's not always easy because of what I said before, you get all these opinions. But it's so simple and powerful because it's just being yourself. You don't have to remember to be anything other than what you already are. You don't have to learn any new skills other than ignoring what other people's opinions. But hey, just bear in mind, what other people think of you is none of your business. It's nothing to do with you, what goes on between their ears. You don't control it. You barely influence it. And it's not your responsibility if they suddenly decide they don't like you and start saying this kind of shit doesn't belong on LinkedIn. This should be, confined to Facebook. It's beyond irrelevant what other people think. So it's so very simple. It's extremely powerful, as I just said, because you attract the kind of people who are like you, and it's really, really simple. And the third thing is a bit more complicated, and you really need to think about this. But everything else you do in marketing can be taken away from you. It can be stolen by your competitors or copied. It can be limited or regulated by government. You can, if you're in a profession where you're registered, like a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, they can take that away from you. They can change the bar. They can arbitrarily limit the number of people who are allowed to practice your profession, like they do with taxi drivers and licenses. All those things can be taken away from you. Your professional body, your governing body, like they do with chiropractors and similar, can regulate what you're allowed to say in your marketing. In some cases, I might be wrong here, don't quote me, but I believe if you're a hairdresser in some parts of California, why you would want to do that, I don't know, your fees are limited. by statute. So all these things can be taken away from you. But the one thing they can never take away, they can't steal it, they can't clone it very well, and they certainly can't take it away from you by law. That is your personality. You own it. You're the only one who's got it. You own it free and clear, and you're the only one who can use it effectively. Now, there are 3 fucking solid reasons for putting yourself out there in your marketing. Now, I will admit, I've been quite glib here because I realise how difficult it can be for you people, you NTs, to break away from these chains. And to be fair, the chains that bind us the tightest are the chains we don't know we even wear. And often you're not aware of the fact other people's opinions are having this massive effect on you, but they are, I'm telling you now. I can see it from the outside. It's quite pitiful, really, at times. But if you will break away from these chains and kind of disregard other people's opinions, take the stoic view, they're none of your business, then your life and your business will change dramatically. Now, I have done, this is basically fundamental to positioning. It's the number one foundation stone, the keystone, if you like, of positioning. Something at which I am well known for being pretty good at. Even Dan Kennedy admires my positioning. He said so at the event we did a couple of years ago. Put this in perspective of how much there is involved in it. I've done 2 events since 2017, both 2-day events. The first one I did a full day on positioning, and the second event was 2 days. So it's 3 days, 18 hours of video on this one topic alone, and I didn't get into all of it then. It wasn't superficial, but it was kind of mid-range to beginning advanced positioning. There is so much I could talk about and do. If you want to learn more about it from me personally, then register your interest at the link below, because I'm going to do something quite special about it soon. And it ain't for everyone, because you're going to have a thick skin and a strong stomach for it, and a spine. Now, that thing that goes from your coccyx to your first vertebrae. You need one of those, and it needs to be pretty strong, because it's not for weaklings, and it's not for people who are going to blanch at the thought of having an opinion that other people might not like. I mean, I know people, certainly in the past, who have been in a group of others and not expressed their own opinion until they find out what everyone else is thinking, because they didn't want to stand out. Well, if you're that kind of person, this is not for you at all. I'm not the kind of person you want to be listening to anyway. You probably need to go and get a job or something. Stop running a business. It's hopeless. But if you want to learn more about positioning from me, and this is fucking fundamental, deep stuff, then just click the link below and register your interest, and I'll let you know more. All right? In the meantime, can you hear the rain? They can. We're out of here to go and get wet. See you later. Ta-da.